So I'm going to be leading a practice called the self-compassion break for shame. So some of you may have heard of the self-compassion break before. It's actually where we intentionally bring in the 3 components of self-compassion. So mindfulness, a sense of common humanity, and kindness to some instance of suffering or emotional pain. And so in this case, we're going to be doing it for shame. Just to be clear, I know most of you know this, but just to clarify the difference between shame and guilt, right? So guilt is when you feel badly about something you've done. It's about a behavior or an action. Shame is about feeling badly about yourself. Guilt actually can be helpful. There's some research that shows that self-compassion is positively linked to feeling badly about a behavior and wanting to repair it. But it's negatively linked to, again, feeling badly about yourself as a person. And there are different levels of shame. There can be intense shame, really pathological shame. Or if you think about it, the opposite, and embarrassment is kind of like a light form of shame. When we feel badly about ourselves, we feel self-focused. Maybe we don't feel like we're horrible people, but we just feel very uncomfortable. But the biggest thing is to understand is shame is a self-focused emotion. It has to do with how we feel about ourselves in terms of our worth. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on in this practice. But a little more toward the lighter end, more embarrassment or light shame, not the heavy duty stuff, because as Chris kind of mentioned, when we feel intense shame, we can't think. Our brain kind of shuts down, we go away. And it's very hard to learn or practice when we aren't even present because we're overwhelmed with shame. So we're going to be working with something that's a little lighter, more like embarrassment or a little bit shame, feelings of shame. But having said that, sometimes you think you choose something that's not heavy shame, not strong shame, and then whoosh, it comes up and you realize like a deck of cards, like underneath there's a whole lifetime of shame. If this happens to you, please stop the practice right now, just because I don't want you to get into overwhelm. We want to just really focus on the techniques. So if at any point in this exercise you start to become overwhelmed, just open your eyes and start maybe listening to the instructions in a more objective way. But if you can do it for yourself, you'll actually get more out of it. Okay. So if you feel like you're ready to turn toward something that's somewhat shameful, please close your eyes and let's take a few breaths, find your body, feel your body in the room, feel your feet on the floor if you can, or maybe the weight of your body in your chair. And just notice I'm here right now. Take a few breaths. Well, keep breathing, but focus on a few breaths. And I'd like you to think of something, it can be something from the past, or maybe even something happening currently. Some feeling or situation in which you felt or feel embarrassed, like really self-conscious, like I can't believe I did that. Or maybe even a little bit of shame. For instance, maybe you were overreactive, right? And you were angrier than you intended to be. And afterward, you felt like, oh, I can't believe I was so angry. I feel badly about myself for doing that. Or maybe you said something to someone that was culturally insensitive. You didn't mean to, but the person was really offended, perhaps. Maybe you were writing a friend some kind of gossip, like, I can't believe that she or he or that person said that. And you accidentally CC'd the person you were talking about, right? So you're kind of caught out gossiping, maybe some, if you're all getting older, maybe some bodily fluid appeared unintentionally or something like that, right? So something that's embarrassing or shameful, but again, not too intense. So please take a moment to really choose wisely what feels right to work with right now. Okay. So just kind of, again, play the situation out in your mind. And then we want to bring mindfulness toward the feeling you have of a shame or embarrassment. Right? So if it's more embarrassment, you might just say, this is how embarrassment feels. Or if it's actual shame, a little heavier, this is how shame feels. Because we're just labeling it. Right? And then please drop your awareness inside your body and just see if you notice how the shame or embarrassment feels in your body. What are the actual physical sensations of it? Right? There might be coldness or could be heat. Could be intense stabbing. It might be numbness. How is it expressing for you in your body? Also, where are you feeling it in your body? Okay, so just see if you can allow these physical sensations to be here. I know they're uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to experience this by definition. But see if you can use mindfulness just to allow some space for you to feel the physical sensations of the embarrassment or shame. And if it feels safe, perhaps allowing yourself to also get in tune with what is it that you are afraid that other people think of you or would think of you if they knew what happened, right? That makes you feel badly about yourself, right? Something like that. It means that you're stupid or worthless. You're just so messed up. Something fundamentally wrong with you. Right. And of course, remembering these are not facts. These are just beliefs triggered by the experience of shame or embarrassment. But these beliefs are part of the experience of shame. So we want to just become mindfully aware of, again, the physical sensations and also mindfully aware of any beliefs that are driving them, beliefs of somehow that something's wrong with you. Again, not facts, they're just thoughts. And as you're thinking of the situation and getting in touch with the shame or embarrassment, you're probably feeling isolated and alone. Right? You're probably feeling cut off or separate from others. That's kind of the nature of shame. But just taking a moment to remember the truth of the fact that, first of all, every single person on this Zoom meeting is feeling something similar, right? And that everyone feels shame and embarrassment. You are certainly not alone. This, in fact, is part of being human. Right? Most people in your situation would feel something similar. Many people have been in your situation and felt something similar, right? But that everyone has things happen that make them feel ashamed or embarrassed. This is actually what connects us to others. It's not what separates us from others. It's what connects us to others, right? And that's because, as Chris said, what makes us human is this natural wish to belong, to be appreciated, to be valued, respected, and loved. Right? So you're feeling the human need to be loved and respected is taking right now the form of shame or embarrassment. And everyone here on this call is feeling something very similar. So let's see if we can bring some kindness to ourselves, because it's painful for all of us to feel shame. It hurts, right? And so maybe we can express some physical kindness. Perhaps if you can, if you know where you feel the shame, you can put your hand on the spot in your body where you feel it. If it's more just a general sense of unease, you can try your hands on your heart or some other place. Just putting your hands on your body and feeling the warmth of your hands. Touching yourself in a supportive way, as if you're kind of literally holding yourself, your body, your shame with your hands. And now bringing to mind some living being that you have a really easy, compassionate relationship with. Maybe a child or a pet, a friend, or some loved one. Someone that you easily feel compassion for and you know they care about you as well. And just imagine this being, imagine the look in their eyes as they look at you with kindness and compassion. To allow yourself to just really bathe in that compassionate gaze. And often our pets are the easiest, your cat or your dog. But anyone you feel cares. And then considering for a moment, what words of kindness or support or acceptance would you most like to hear in this moment as you kind of are in touch with these feelings of shame or embarrassment? Maybe something like, I accept you just as you are. Or, I won't abandon you. I'm here for you. It's okay to make mistakes. I care. You're a good person despite being imperfect, like we all are. Or maybe even I love you. And just imagine what words would really resonate with you most. And then see if you can actually just repeat these words to yourself, perhaps imagining that the compassionate part of yourself is talking to the part of you that feels this shame or inadequacy or embarrassment. Right, so just repeating these words, support and validation. Right, they may land, they may not, they may feel fake or phony. Just let your experience be as it is. Again, we're just really practicing the intention to be kinder to ourselves, taking it step by step. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay, so that's the self-compassion break for shame. Sometimes I think of it as the ingredients for baking a self-compassion cookie. So 1 part mindfulness, 1 part common humanity, and 1 or maybe 2 or 3, depending on how sweet you like your cookie, kindness.